What if the bridge you're crossing suddenly disappears into the fog? Or what if the wooden planks beneath your feet started breaking away? Or worse, what if you could see straight through the floor to a 300-meter drop below? For most of us, bridges are just everyday structures we cross without a second thought. But around the world, there are bridges so terrifying, so dangerous, and so extreme that they've earned notorious reputations. Today, we're counting down the 8 most heart-stopping, palm-sweating, nightmare-inducing bridges on the planet. Bridges where thousands of thrill-seekers flock each year, where locals risk their lives daily just to get to work, and where some brave souls never make it across. Let's start with number 8 on our list. The Bridge of Death, Hussaini Hanging Bridge, Pakistan. The Hussaini Hanging Bridge in Pakistan is one of the most dangerous bridges in the world. This bridge is just old wooden boards and rope hanging above the wild Hunza River. The wind makes it shake. There are holes where boards are missing. One wrong step and you could fall. This bridge was built in 1968 to connect 2 small villages, Hussaini and Zarabad. The people who live there have no choice but to use it every day. Tourists still come to try crossing it. They sign papers saying it's not anyone's fault if they fall. At least 10 people have died falling from this bridge. In 2022, a young student had a seizure while crossing and he fell into the river, and no one could save him. People have asked for safety changes after deaths, but nothing gets fixed. The bridge stayed open. It always does. The Ghost Bridge of China, Eshima Ohashi, Japan. Next on our list is the Eshima Ohashi Bridge in Japan, wrongly dubbed the Ghost Bridge of China by uninformed travel writers. This bridge has sparked heated debates among tourists and engineers alike. From certain angles, it appears dangerously steep, a concrete wall rising at an impossible angle that no vehicle should logically be able to climb. It was built between 1997 and 2004 to replace a working drawbridge. Government officials claimed it would solve traffic delays, but critics argue it was an unnecessary infrastructure project pushed through to benefit construction companies with political connections. While Japanese authorities insist the bridge meets all safety regulations, skeptics point out that its unusual design creates hazardous conditions during rain and ice storms. Several minor accidents have gone unreported in official statistics, according to local drivers who refuse to use the bridge during bad weather. This controversial structure connects Matsue and Sakai Minato, 2 cities that have long competed for economic dominance in the region. The bridge's location favors one city's development over the other. It may be an engineering achievement, but at what cost to taxpayers and community harmony? The Vanishing Bridge, Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, USA. Have you ever driven on a road where the land completely disappears? Well, that's exactly what happens on our next amazing bridge. The Lake Pontchartrain Causeway in Louisiana seems to swallow drivers whole as they travel across it. This monster of a bridge stretches for nearly 24 miles over water. It's so long that it holds the Guinness World Record for the longest bridge over water anywhere on Earth. Here's the really freaky part. For 8 whole miles in the middle, you can't see any land at all. Just water everywhere you look. The sky and lake blend together until you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. It's like driving straight into nothingness. But this disappearing act has a dangerous side. Since 1993, at least 16 cars have gone off the edge and, sadly, 12 people have lost their lives. That's why it's on the list of America's 8 most dangerous roads. Some drivers get so scared in the middle that they freeze up completely, and police have to come rescue them. Even with these dangers, the bridge is super important. It saves people hours of driving time and brings in about $29 million each year from tolls. It's even been in famous movies like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and books like A Streetcar Named Desire. And speaking of dangerous bridges, wait until you hear about our next one. A bridge in Russia that should have fallen apart decades ago. The Devil's Trap, Kwandinsky Bridge, Russia. Imagine crossing a bridge that nobody takes care of. No repairs, no safety checks, nothing. That's the Kwandinsky Bridge in Russia, and it's absolutely terrifying. This rusty old bridge was only supposed to be temporary when workers built it back in 1982. But they abandoned it before it was even officially opened. Now it just sits there, a skeleton of wood and rusty metal stretching 570 meters across the freezing Vitim River. The scariest part? It's only about 2 meters wide, just enough space for one vehicle. And get this, there are no railings whatsoever. Make one small mistake, and you're plunging straight into the icy river below. In winter, the wooden boards get covered with ice and snow, making them as slippery as a frozen pond. Despite all these dangers, locals still use this death trap because it's the only way to reach the village of Kwanda. Some brave people even bring extra wooden boards to replace broken pieces they find along the way. Can you believe that? While there are no official reports of deaths, many drivers have nearly fallen off, and in 2018, part of the bridge's support structure was washed away, making it even more dangerous. From one deadly crossing to another. Next bridge in China has a heartbreaking reputation that will leave you speechless. The suicide magnet, Nanjing Yangtze River Bridge, China. Not all dangerous bridges are scary because they might fall down. Some are beautiful but hide a very sad story, like the Nanjing Yangtze River Bridge in China. When it was built in 1968, Chinese people celebrated this massive 6,772-meter bridge. It was the first bridge over the mighty Yangtze River that they built all by themselves, without any help from other countries. But this impressive bridge soon became known for something truly heartbreaking. It turned into one of the world's most famous suicide spots. During its worst year in 1998, 105 people jumped from the bridge. That's nearly one person every 3 days. Most were older folks who felt overwhelmed by money problems or loneliness. But then a hero emerged. Chen Si has patrolled the bridge since 2003, looking for people who seem sad or ready to jump. This amazing man has saved over 400 lives just by talking and listening to people's problems. The Highway to Hell, Deception Pass Bridge, USA. Now let's travel to the Pacific Northwest, where Mother Nature makes crossing a bridge an adventure you won't forget. The Deception Pass Bridge connects Whidbey Island and Fidalgo Island in Washington state. Built during the Great Depression when people desperately needed jobs, workers completed this amazing structure in less than a year. Since 1935, its bold steel arches have stood strong against everything nature throws at it. But crossing this bridge? Powerful winds howl so strongly through the metal framework like angry ghosts that sometimes they push cars right off course. And without warning, thick fog can roll in and wrap the bridge in a spooky blanket of white mist. No wonder drivers white-knuckle their steering wheels as they inch across. Despite these scary conditions, about 20,000 brave souls cross this bridge every single day because it's the only way between the islands. The Stuntman's Final Leap, Royal Gorge Bridge, USA. Imagine standing on a bridge almost 1,000 feet above a rushing river. Welcome to the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado, the tallest suspension bridge in America. Built in 1929 for $350,000. That's about $4.9 million today. This massive structure dangles 956 feet above the wild Arkansas River. When you walk across its 1,257 wooden planks, you can feel them slightly bouncing with each step. This extreme height has made the bridge a magnet for thrill seekers from around the world. But sadly, its dizzying drop has a darker side too. Several people have ended their lives by jumping from it, adding a shadow to its breathtaking views. In 2013, disaster struck when a terrible wildfire tore through the surrounding park. Buildings burned to the ground, and the landscape turned black. But incredibly, the bridge itself survived with only minor damage. After extensive repairs, the Royal Gorge Bridge reopened in 2014, now with exciting new attractions like zip lines and sky coasters for extra thrills. As heart-pounding as the Royal Gorge Bridge is, our next bridge takes terror to a whole new level, because you can actually see straight through the floor as you walk. Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, China. What tops our list of the craziest bridges in the world? The Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge in China. What's scarier than crossing a super high bridge? Crossing one where you can see right through the floor to the 300-meter drop below you. That's exactly what the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge in China offers. When this incredible structure opened in 2016, it smashed records as both the world's longest and highest glass-bottomed bridge. Stretching 430 meters across the Zhangjiajie Grand Canyon, each step feels like you're walking on air. The bridge was designed to hold up to 800 people at once, but nobody expected what happened next. Just 13 days after opening, the bridge had to shut down completely. Why? Because instead of the expected 8,000 daily visitors, more than 80,000 people showed up every day. That's 10 times more people than planned. Officials quickly closed the bridge for a month to improve crowd control and build bigger facilities. Despite its popularity, the bridge has faced serious safety questions. In 2016, a tourist was injured by falling rocks, showing the real dangers of building such attractions in wild places. By 2019, China had built over 2,300 similar glass bridges, often faster than safety rules could keep up. Today, the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge remains a major tourist destination for brave souls seeking unforgettable thrills. But it raises an important question. How far should we go just to create spectacular attractions? So next time you cross a bridge, take a moment to appreciate the amazing structure beneath your feet. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be inspired to visit one of these incredible bridges yourself if you're brave enough. Which of these 8 amazing bridges would you dare to cross? And are there any other scary bridges we should feature in our next video? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible structures from around the world.